What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope hope everybody is doing well. Started a bit later because I think a lot of people were watching the Italy game, so that's why it's a bit later. Um, it's not going to be a very long live as well. Just a quick update on Fagioli and gathering your thoughts on the situation because it's official or like official. It's official. Like let's say it's official, and I think the first time this week or ever since the news broke, I really spoke about it because other than that, it was just guessing from the media, and it was a bit all over the place in terms of what is real, what is not real. This is real. Fagioli will be suspended, which we knew. It was just a question of how long will he be suspended. He's going to be suspended for 12 months, 7 months on the field, 5 months. Um, he kind like, how do I need to put it in words? It's because of the plea deal. It's like jail sentence, 7 plus 5, whatever. So 7 months. He needs to take counsel, I think 10 times, or show up at public meeting 10 times. I'm not sure, something like that. But the big point is he's gone for 7 months, which means technically he can still play this season, the last 2 games I think of the season, depending on when the punishment kicks in. But I'm assuming he's done for the season, and we need to do without Fagioli from now on until next season. Let's go over what you guys think about that. About the suspension, about what it could mean for us, obviously, and for him as well. Because I think you need to look at it at two ways, obviously, because there are two parties involved: us, the team, and him. He himself, basically. Um, like I'm not gonna argue about 7 months is too much. You know what? You did wrong. So like whatever. I'm not gonna feel sorry for him. I said it many times. I'm maybe he is, or probably he is, addicted to gambling. Like if you spend a lot of money and you do that on illegal website, I'm assuming you are addicted to gambling. I don't know how that feels, so I cannot talk about that. But I will say that you're in a privileged position. You get told every single year that you cannot do these things. If you still do these things, addiction or no addiction, it's on you. There's no need to feel sorry for anyone. I don't feel sorry for him. Like I don't feel sorry for Pogba. You made those decisions. He made that decision, and now you need to bear the consequences of it. And the consequences are big time, for him and for us as well. Let's start with him personally, because he's not gonna play football for 7 months. That's a long time, that's like Ivan Toney. I think he had 8 months. That's like Rabiot without a ban, but he got banned from the club, basically. So he didn't play for months before he joined us. The good news for him, if you want to call it good news, as of now, he's still allowed to train with the first team. Apparently, they're not going to take that away. So he's allowed to train with the first team, interact with the players and all those things. So that could be good for him. But on a career level, I think it's big, massive step back, and not because I think the club will be like, you're done at the club, in the summer we'll try to move you on. I don't think the club is thinking that, but he wasn't the first choice this season. Miretti was the first choice. And even when we had so many injuries, Allegri played McKennie and moved Miretti up front, basically, against Torino. Not even then, Fagioli was getting the minutes. So for me, and I said it, throughout the first 2 months, I said, I think he lost his position. I think he is not the first one on the team sheet, quote unquote, between the options. And that's not good for him. Now, on top of that, he is not going to be there for 7 months, meaning Miretti will play more, McKennie will play more, obviously, and we're going to sign a new player because we have no choice. Giuntoli can say, let's see, we will look at opportunities or whatever. Like, I don't want to hear that. It's clear and obvious. Allegri needs players. He needs players. There's no ifs and buts. He needs help. He needed help before all these things happen. Now he needs help because you know what? He's gonna be short. He's gonna run short of players very soon because knock on wood, but Fagioli is gonna pick a Nagel or Mikani or Miretti or even Rabiot. He's gonna need to make those decisions, and I don't want to see an entire season Illing Jr. play as a Mezzala when needed, or um, Yildiz dropping in. Like, I don't want to see that crap. Play the positions the players can perform in, and sign the players, because we have no choice. We need to sign a player, and for him, Miretti, like, keep in mind, Fagioli, he's already behind in the packing order this season, and now we're gonna bring in a player not in the summer but mid-season, meaning he's gonna acclimatize to the club. We hope so, and going into the new season, already played a lot of games, and then here comes Fagioli. If Allegri is the coach, it's gonna be extremely difficult for Fagioli just to walk in, stroll back in like nothing happened. So he set back his career big time, in my opinion. Especially at the club. And again, some might say, "Oh, I feel sorry for him." I don't. He made that decision, not the club, not anyone. He is a grown person. He's 21. That's a grown up. Like, even if you're 16 or 18, you should know you cannot do these things. Like, it's as simple as that. It's black and white. You cannot do that. Period. And he did that. So he's kind of sabotaging his own career at the club, and this is bad. This is bad. So that's from his perspective, or what I think from his perspective. For us, it's bad as well. Like I said, he wasn't the first choice as of now, or that's the feeling I was having. Watching how the first couple of weeks unfold. But we need help, and we don't have a lot of money, and that's my fear. Because I was assuming if we get into the Champions League, then they will spend a little bit more. Now they have no option, and I fear they're gonna make some panic buys, and they're gonna sign Højbjerg, or they're gonna find they're gonna find a player where you're like, oh, we are wasting money. That's my fear. The good thing is now they're forced to buy, but the bad thing, in my opinion, is that we don't have a lot of money, and it's January. It's not all teams are just gonna let their players walk, unless you're gonna overpay like we did with Vlahovic. Teams are not just jumping to let their players walk mid-season. Any team, you can say it's a mid-table team, it's a relegation side. It's not that easy. So you're going to need to overpay and all those things. And that's my fear. Knowing that clubs are looking at this situation, they're like, you guys are desperate. You need players. You need players, because Pogba's not coming back. Fagioli's not coming back. It's not injuries or stuff. They're just gone. Gone. So that's my biggest fear, all hype, or like hyped, that we need to sign players, but the fear is we're gonna overpay or we're gonna panic buy, because you see names like Thuram, that's not realistic in January, for the money, for the reason that why would he say yeah, take him mid-season? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You will get Højbjerg probably because he needs to leave Tottenham. They want him out. These are the players you're going to get. Players the clubs want out, not the players the clubs want to keep and can maximize potential out in terms of value in the summer. So that's my fear in this whole situation. That's what I'm actually fearful for. Thuram, hopefully, like I said, I don't think that's realistic. Is that bad? I guess that depends on what we buy. Yeah, that's what I said. It depends. It really depends. If we had the old management, I feel like that too. But Juntli, I'm hoping he's smart. I mean, if you read some things he's saying, I'm gonna say, If it's Beneski, I'm going to lose it. If it's Beneski, I will stop doing videos. I don't have, or I'm gonna do videos. I'm just gonna ignore it. Because I don't have, like, after last season and what's happening now, I don't have the strength to discuss Beneski games. I don't have the, how do you want to say that? Like, I don't have the energy for it. I actually don't, because if you bring a player back like Beneski, then you know what? If this club completely fails, we shouldn't be surprised. We should be angry, but like, being linked with these players, and they're good links from good sources saying, you know what, it is an option. It's disgusting. I'll put it as simple as that. He's one of the worst players we had in the last decade, and I mean in terms of hype, money, price. He himself thinking he's great, absolutely terrible footballer for us. So what on earth makes you think, oh, he's good? I see the reports. Oh, he's versatile. He can play multiple position. He can not play. You play them in multiple position, he stank in all of them. That's the reality. So he cannot play multiple positions. He can't. He absolutely cannot. So you cannot bring back a player like Beneski, because that's just disgusting. I hope we get Samardzic, not Højbjerg, but I know what a club will choose. If it's 30 mil, you and they still choose Højbjerg, then going back to the first comment in terms of Juntili knows what he's doing, then he has no clue what he's doing. Like I said, Samardzic, I made a video on it. It will drop tomorrow. I'll take him in a heartbeat because of the potential he has, the age. He knows the league already. I think he fills in the need. Those are the reasons. The potential deal you can set up with Udinese, like they did with Inter, is interesting. But will Udinese be like, get our best player whilst we're fighting relegation, instead of, what, we're going to keep him, and then in the summer he's gone. We know that, but you know what, we will have a shot in avoiding relegation, or like, because they're not a good team this season. So it's not that easy. It's really not that easy to get these players out in January. Also, there's no winter break, so we play on. It's not like other teams have time to sell and buy, before the next game. We just play on because of the Euros, and it's a worry, in my opinion. I'm not excited. I was more looking forward to the transfer window if these things didn't happen, because then I knew they were gonna buy if they actually had an option to bring in quality, and it was a good opportunity. Now they absolutely need to do that, but with a limited budget, and I feel it can go like extremely good or extremely poor. I don't think there's a middle way. I don't think there's anything in between. That's my fear. I think we'll sign one good player long term and one loanee until the end of the season. I prefer that over two average players. Well, obviously, I prefer that over any average player. But who are you gonna loan for now until the end of the season? That's like a Beneski, and at that point, I'm like, no, you're gonna need to pay him 2.5-3 million for those couple of months. Give that to charity. If you actually want to waste money, give that to charity, or not waste. Charity is not waste, but like, you know what I mean. If you just want to do whatever with your money, use it well and give it to charity. Don't give it to Beneski, because he's gone. He's out of this club for a damn good reason. He was terrible. Like he was. I think people forget how extremely poor he was. It was frustrating. It got to a point where he didn't look like a footballer. He was shocking. And then you had him scoring against San Marino, was it? And saying, you know what, I can do better. And Pirlo, and I was like, oh boy, get out. Like, absolutely get out. There's no need to do these type of deals. Absolutely no need whatsoever. So that's my fear. Like, that's my fear. Not Benedeski to that extent, because that's a loan. But those type of players where you cannot get rid of them as well. But let's see. We first need to survive, I think, like 10, 11 players, games, before we get to the transfer window, and then we play on. I think there's like 10 days break, or like 1 week without a game or something like that, but we play on. So there's still a lot of games to play before we get to that point, and the team is thin. It's really thin. You see Danilo's out. You're playing Rugani, and now you just have Miretti and McKennie, and I'm still not sold on McKennie quality-wise. He's doing well, but like carrying that midfield, being the difference maker, I don't see that in McKennie. I will never see that in McKennie. So losing Fagioli is a big loss of quality if you look at what we have already. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to look pretty. I will give Allegri some leeway in terms of, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to give him a leeway in terms of it needs to be better on the pitch as well. There needs to be some sort of progress, but there's still a lot of games to play before we get into that international break, transfer window, and as of now, man, it's not looking good. Like on the like we got the points on the board for now, but on the pitch, it doesn't fill you with confidence that we're gonna sustain some good run. And now with all these things happening, it's like, oh my god, we're 1, 2 injuries away from being an absolute disaster because you can see how we play without Chiesa and Vlahovic. Danilo's now out. Some might say that's a big miss. Fagioli's not there. Quality wise on the bench, it's crazy. It's absolutely you're losing quality, like real quality players. You're losing them now, and that's an issue, especially when you play players like Kostic, who nothing against Kostic, but they don't offer a lot of quality. And for me, it's scary hours. What about the Antwerp player Vermeer? And yeah, he's not leaving mid-season. Like, he's absolutely not leaving. He might go to the Euros. They're gonna cash in big time in the summer. There's no chance you get him out. Nor should you get him out in January. What do you think is the best case scenario in the trend in the winter mercado that's realistic? As of now, I don't see anything like realistic as Højbjerg, but I don't think that's best case scenario. Best case scenario for me is Samardzic, because, like I said, he knows the league. He can just slot in, not real adaptation needed. Yes, a little bit to the squad, fine, but he knows the league, the pace, how you need to play in this league, how teams set up. So I think he will acclimatize better than any other player you bring in mid-season. Like Thuram, if you can get Thuram, he's still young, new league, mid-season. I don't know. Højbjerg is experienced, but I don't like Højbjerg. So that's that. And then you have, what was it? Diarra, all those names. I think that's like some dodgy links as of now. But for me, it will be Samardzic because I think he will be the one who's ready now in terms of. I think he he can slot in, because he knows the league. So, is it realistic? Maybe, but will Udinese be open? I don't think Udinese is like, yeah, take our best player mid-season and we will struggle out here. I find it extremely hard to believe at this moment in time. Why are the newspapers still bringing up the Beneski multiple position bullshit? I have no idea. Like, I have no idea because he played a multiple position, but they're letting out the part where he played extremely poorly in every of those positions, and I cannot explain why they are leaving that out. Like, I have absolutely no explanation for that. So it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. I hope it's complete bullshit on Benedeski, but it's actually from decent to have decent sources. It's an idea that the club has out there. And when I say the club, I will say Allegri, because I don't think Giuntoli is sitting there and be like, I'll bring Benedeski back on a 6-month loan deal, because I think that's a great idea. I don't think. I'm hoping that's not on Giuntoli. That thought process is not coming from him, because that's extremely worrying. But let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if we bring back Benedeski for 6 months, and I cannot give you one good reason as of why that will be a great move or idea. I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. I just have pain already and tears in my eyes that I need to watch Benedeski potentially back in this team that's already hard to watch. Like, that's. Did you watch the England-Italy game? No, I don't watch international games. I saw some of the highlights or like clips from the goals. It was hilarious. It was poor. It was embarrassing. I looked at the lineup and I was like, I have no idea how people have time, or like not time, are openly watching this. When you are a Juve fan, you watch us play, and then you look at the Azzurri lineup and you're like, I need to watch that as well. Kudos to the people who still have strength to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not watching international games. I'll watch the Euros because it's a good vibe, but I don't have time to watch international games because it's not that good. It's weird that Locatelli didn't play. I saw he made a lot of subs compared to the previous games, but it's good for us that Locatelli didn't play. Gatti didn't play. Keane came on, I saw. But it's good, no injuries for those players, so that's all I care about for Juve. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Like I said, 20 minutes. Quick update on Fagioli, because now it's quote unquote official that he's gone for 7 months, and we need to deal with it on off the pitch. That's the situation we're in now, and we just need to accept it and move on. And it's not easy to move on, because on Sunday it's Milan away with potentially no Danilo, obviously Fagioli, Pogba, obviously Chiesa not fit, potentially not being there, Vlahovic still up in the air. So a lot of question marks and a lot of worrying signs, even in the last couple of games. In terms of going forward, chance creation, and now you need to face the leaders in Serie A. And if you lose, if anyone believed in a title, it's 7 points, and you're gonna be in a dogfight very soon. And we need to get out of that game with something. But we will discuss that starting from tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. We will preview that properly. Hopefully, when the players come back, all this news can be left behind, and we can actually preview a big game ahead of us. But yeah, that's it for me. Thanks everyone for watching. Like the video on your way out, or if you're rewatching it, do like it, because a lot of people do rewatch the lives. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that bell notification. If you want to win a jersey, go on Twitter, because there's a contest out to win a jersey, or join the members club, and you can join the prediction league. Jockey Bro, who was in the chat, won last year's jersey. That's on its way, and you can win a jersey in the summer if you win the prediction league. So to do that, link in the description, and I will be back probably live tomorrow, same time.